Hello, everybody, and welcome to myKaarma Engineer Conversations. I'm Animesh, the head of engineering and R&D at myKaarma.
Hello everyone, I am Rishi. I work as a SRE manager here at myKaarma. So my day-to-day job is to work with DevOps, data and automation team and make sure that myKaarma software is reliable.
Hi everyone, I'm Prakash Tiwari. I'm a software engineer at myKaarma. My work involves building tools, building DevOps pipelines, and trying to fix any problem that I can get my hands on.
Hi everyone, I am Riddhi. I am also a software engineer at myKaarma, and my main goal is to solve difficult problems. And in my day-to-day activities, I try to automate stuff.
Hello everyone, this is Pulkit Singhal, the new joinee in automation team. I'm also a software engineer.
Hello everyone, myself Prashast. I'm a QA automation intern working with the QA automation team, and I'm interning this summer. And for the past 2 months, I've been working on Daksha to increase its capabilities and functionalities.
Wonderful. Everybody, we are starting this new series to find a space where we can discuss the innovations going on in the myKaarma engineering team with our colleagues in the team and also with the public at large. Today's focus is on a QA automation tool called Daksha, which the people I'm speaking with today have been building for the past several years, and we'll go into the various aspects of it. To start with, Rishi, I know you had the genesis of all the QA automation we've been doing at myKaarma for a whole bunch of years now, more than 5 to 6 years. Why did we build a tool like Daksha? Like, what was the need and vision behind that?
Okay, so before answering that, I want to just share the history of QA automation in myKaarma. So earlier when I joined in 2015, so we used to do a manual testing. Then we think that this is not a scalable solution. Every time we need to create a test case sheet and run it manually. So then we come up with a solution. We create a microservice using Spring Boot, Java, and Selenium. And we also use a testing framework called TestNG. And there we write automation test in Java and also add some complex verification after test is complete. So we also published a Medium article for that. You can use Q automation as an API. So we are using that tool, but if suppose our product manager wants to write a new automation test, so they were having a difficulty because they come from a non-technical background, and from a non-technical person to write a code in Java and Spring Boot it is very difficult. So, but then we think that we need a tool which a non-technical person can write and they can easily create automations. So then we come up with solutions that there can be a simple recorder which can record everything and just replicate the test. And then that test can be run anywhere. So that's the basic history about how we come up with this tool.
That is very good to hear. The evolution from fully manual tests to deep code-based tests using Java or languages of that nature to something which is a little more declarative. Prakash, can you explain to me and everybody else over here what Daksha is, and tell us a little more about the journey in the Dakshification, if you will, of our QA automation system?
As Rishi said, Daksha is an advanced automated testing tool. It provides a declarative syntax to write automation tests, which is almost in plain English. It is designed to simplify the process of writing and executing tests. Daksha has a very short learning curve and is easily accessible to people with little to no tech background.
So you say this is a domain-specific language, which is almost English-like text. So have you used an existing system like XML or something to write Daksha? What is the syntax like?
So Daksha framework is itself written in Python, and the tests for Daksha you write in a YML file.
Okay.
You just mention the steps that need to be executed, and Daksha reads each of those steps and executes the test for you. I have myself written a lot of automation tests over the years, The motivation behind Daksha is to greatly reduce the development time for writing those tests with built-in error handling and retry.
Nice. Really, I know when you were building it, we were also looking at the classic build versus buy discussion of whether we should build something. And I want to acknowledge to us in the room and everybody else who's watching this video, as engineers, we always want to build. Let's be very clear, we all have that bias. At the same time, as smart engineers, you want to ideally buy something and build on top of it if that's a good option for us. Really, I know we have existing UI testing tools like Quilla that exist. Tell me a little more about how Daksha is different, hopefully better than tools like Quilla.
So Pila is a great tool, Animesh. We also explored it, and it it is very good if you want to just automate the keyboard interactions or the UI interactions mainly. And it also provides a JSON-like format. However, with Daksha, we wanted to not only be focused on the UI automation part, but to make a more comprehensive tool that can be used by anyone to set up in prod environment. And basically, we wanted to surpass the limitations of only UI interactions, and we wanted to make something with which anyone can write test cases and run them on their systems at any time. So some specific features that make Daksha different is that we have the ability to make API requests in Daksha, which is very uncommon in such tools. Like with Daksha, the vision was that we will make a tool that that can be used by anyone to easily set up production level test cases.
All right. In fact, really, I think it's a good time to segue a little deeper for those who don't know what myKaarma does to talk about the myKaarma system itself. Because if all you want to do in the simplest of the world to say, I have a user profile web page, somebody uploads a picture, and then you want to confirm if the picture is uploaded, you don't need Daksha. You're fine. You can have a simple UI automation framework. It'll browse an image, it'll upload the image, it'll confirm if the next page contains the image. You're fine. In the myKaarma system, it is especially to do with customer interactions. A very common interaction among that is an inbound text message. You send a message to a customer sends message back to you, you should get notified. The customer sending message back to you is not a UI action. That is where you will need API calls to simulate an inbound text message coming in. And for those kinds of complex interactions, the way I see it is where Daksha becomes really very, very relevant and much more powerful than a rather more focused system like Quilla, which would be very good for a UI only application. Is that a fair assessment?
Right.
All right. So let's switch things around a little bit. Pulkit, how do the users see results in this?
So basically, users can see results from anywhere, as Daksha not only generates the test report, but also allows users to receive it via email. Also, users can configure it on their GChat or Slack so that they can get real-time update of their test executions. This is really handy.
Nice, nice. And I'm assuming we are already using it as our internal GChat alerts in the system.
Yes, we are getting a lot of mails also.
That is very good. Very, very good. Prakash, in terms of running the tool and getting the tests and stuff, let's talk a little bit more about in production users, right? Pulkit talked about how getting alerting is an important part of it. And guys and gals who are watching this video, let's be very clear. A simple test suite that runs one single test is cute. It's a nice project. It is not a real business tool. A real business tool has to allow it to do multiple things. For example, alerting if the test suite passes or fails. Another one is it has to be a test suite, not a single test. So Prakash, how do you write test suites in Daksha?
So basically, Daksha can use external sources to store and run your tests. We provide GitHub as an option. You can make folders for your test and put all your test files in a GitHub repo and provide that repo's path when configuring Daksha. And that way, whenever you want to run a suite of tests, just provide the corresponding folder name in GitHub, and Daksha automatically picks all the tests in that folder, and it will run those tests for you.
Nice.
That way,
Nice.
you get the reports in a single suite.
Very good. Rishi, being the OG testing guy with all these things, let's talk about the difficulty in terms of installation and usage and whatnot. How many different Python libraries do I need to install? Do you have a good, clean GitHub repo with a requirements.txt file? What's the story here for getting
Yeah,
started?
so if you are just trying it out, just you want to deploy Daksha and start creating test and running it. So it's very easy. So you just need to create a Docker image, just build that Docker image and deploy in your local Docker server or in any cloud. And that's it. And then you can hit the Daksha APIs and your test will start. You can schedule your test, you can get reports and everything. So it's very easy. And if you
Nice.
are doing the development, then you need to do a git clone and
Of course, of course. There's a point you are touching right now. We're going to come back to it much more deeply in a quick bit. But I'm really happy to say that Daksha is open source. At myKaarma, we have used a lot of open source software to build what we have built. And we are very proud to publish Daksha from the beginning, open source, because we want people to play with the tool and hopefully contribute to it. We cannot do all the enhancements. Hopefully, some of you will be able to contribute things that you care about. But Rishi, in terms of target users and stuff, right? You said you can be developers, you could be users, you need some Docker. In your vision, in terms of people who are watching this, what kind of users should be interested in Daksha?
initially, our main target user were product managers. So because they provide requirements to the dev team. So here in myKaarma, we have a process that whenever product manager provides a requirement, they also provide a test case regarding that. So if it will be very good if they can provide a automated text that developer can run after their development is done when they are doing the integration test. So in that way, product manager just create a Daksha YAML and then provide it to dev team via their Jira tickets and everything. So that's our initial target. But over the time, when it get popular internally and people are started using it, dev also want to integrate Daksha with their own internal tools because they think that I don't want to write complex Selenium test manually. I just want to use Daksha so it can automatically create those Selenium scripts, and that just I want to integrate it with my other tools. So now we also have the Get API endpoints in Daksha, so it can integrate with other tools very seamlessly.
Very nice. Very nice. And I remember using Daksha in one of my projects in its early days. And I remember that honestly, it was a bit of a failure because I got a little too lazy in pulling out all the expats and stuff which were required in getting all the buttons to be clicked in terms of how my system for double opt-in would get used. Pulkit, I've been told that you've been making some enhancements to allow people to determine expats and stuff a little more easily.
So yeah, in myKaarma, we have developed a Chrome extension, which we call Daksha Recorder. So it helps us to interact with the application in real time. And this recorder will automatically generate a Daksha test YAML file. And this file can be executed into Daksha for the test execution. So there is no need of manual finding of XPaths. And so this is very good initiative that we have taken, that non-techies can also use this who don't know much about XPath and everything. Now they just have to interact with the application and it will automatically generate a YAML for them.
That is very cool. In fact, that I remember was a big hurdle. I was like, I want to spend some time, but it's very difficult to debug and trace and stuff. And I remember seeing some early demos when you were working on some of this stuff, honestly, as part of your internship. And that was a very cool project that you did when you were spending time with us as an intern. And speaking of interns, Prashant, let's look at you for a moment. Can Daksha work as a standalone tool, or do the users have to keep hitting, like, make a Python script to hit the URLs of a Python script? How do I what's the latest in that story?
Yeah. Daksha can indeed work as a standalone tool, and users do not need to manually hit the endpoint repeatedly. And Daksha offers a cron functionality that allows user to schedule test executions at specific intervals, ensuring automated and timely execution of tests. And we have implemented this functionality, and users can choose for any number of tests to be hit at any number of interval that they want. And when this functionality is enabled, those endpoints will be hit automatically by Daksha and need not be hit by the user.
Nice, nice, pretty cool. At this point, I'd like to switch context a little bit and go into a bit of a demo. Riddhi, if you don't mind, give us a tour around what the stuff would look like. I'm looking at it from the perspective of a brand new person who does not know anything about Daksha. After I go to GitHub, how many steps do I have to take before I'm able to go to my hello world?
So this is the open source repo of Daksha, and you'll find a very detailed README in here and how to install. So we already have commands like scripts prepared. You just need to have Python in your system for a local run. And one more thing you'll need is a Chrome web driver that you can download from the Chrome web store. So uh, another thing is that the recorder that we were talking about, this is that Daksha recorder. So this is the extension which will help you write the Daksha test cases. So if you have these three things, one is running instance of Daksha, one is a Chrome driver, and you have this installation installed, then it will be very easy for you to write the test case. So I'll show you a basic login logout test.
Okay.
So basically you start recording. I have the Daksha recorder already installed in my system. You make one click and it takes care of everything. This is only click based. You click on next and it is getting recorded. So if you want to check meanwhile what has been recorded, you can see the YAML. You can see the XPaths that have been, it has already been converted into a Daksha specific language, which already was plain English, but now you don't even have to learn that. So next you click on this, it will log in. Now you are seeing that this is taking some time, right? You want to add some hardware to your system. There is a custom way to do this as well. You want to add a 5-second hardware, add it. If you want to stop the recorder, you can just stop the recorder and you can click on download. You'll see that this Daksha YAML has been downloaded. Now, I already have prepared some examples for you guys. So as you can see here, that this config, this is very user specific. So we already keep this empty. You'll have to fill this. So you can fill the env as local, the browser as Chrome, and your driver address. Rest will be taken care. So now I already have the Daksha server running. So I'll show you how to run the test case. So here you can see I have, just for showing you the suit one, I have already prepared a folder where I have 2 tests. And when I hit, you'll see 2 tests running in parallel. One thing is that this is the variable dictionary, the variable substitution that we were talking about. You can provide some variables in the API request itself, and it can get rendered in the Daksha YAML. So as you can see, I have hit this, and my test has been started. These 2 Chrome drivers have started. This is the logs that I'm getting. Now, if I want to see what the current status of the test is, we have this endpoint in Daksha. Let us not provide any body right now. So you can see that 2 tests are running, and this is login test and this is login test 2, and I'm getting both of them. This is the test that is running. I'll just close them right now. Now let's see. You can see that the status were in progress previously. Now they have failed because I've manually closed both the Chrome drivers. If you want to see the result of a specific one, there is this name field. So names, if you give the list of the names in the test, you will get the particular test result. So the main motivation behind this is that uh, now you can see that you can run the test cases in Daksha and you can get the test result from Daksha. So in any existing framework, if you have uh, the ability to make the API call, you can call it to run Daksha test cases, retrieve the result, have a polling system, you retrieve the results, wait for completion. And as you can see, it also gives the variable dictionary. That is, any variable that has been created in Daksha in the run will be supplied to you. So after that, you can do all the validations you want.
Nice. This is definitely pretty cool. Does anybody else want to add something in the demo that we just saw?
Yeah, so yeah, it is very good. Also, I just want to add a few things. So after the report or test is completed, we do get a email report, and also recently we also opened the PR to integrate Daksha with the open source another open source tool called reportingportal.io, which is widely used for getting creating a dashboard reports based on the test execution. So we use it internally to track how all the teams are doing, how their tests are passing, what is the passing rate for each team, and so on. So recently we opened a PR for that, and when it get merged, so user can integrate with reporting portal and see their test live running there, and they can create dashboards based on that.
Nice, nice. And in terms of usage, um, really, what is the market penetration so far within myKaarma? Are our product managers already using Daksha, or has this all only been a pipe dream and a hope that we have of people who are not engineers using the system?
No, Animesh. Actually, right from the day we had developed Daksha, we had gotten some good response, and we have all. I think that around 70% of the product managers in myKaarma have already used Daksha. So the goal is that what they wanted to achieve with Daksha was that they wanted something that they can do for their production verification just after new features are developed. And I know about one product manager, Vasu, who has given us very good feedback on this. Besides that, we are regularly interacting with the product managers to get a more user feedback from them so that we can improve whatever feature is lacking.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, we did take a look at an open source repo that you just showed us, Riddhi, and team. We did talk about how we feel that's the right thing to do, to publish stuff open source, to share, to not keep it locked behind closed doors, because it should be hopefully useful to more people, and we'll learn and we'll grow together. So are you looking for some support from the community? What are your, and this is an open question, I guess, to Riddhi and to everybody else, what are your expectations?
By open sourcing, we wanted, like, the thing that we realized is that uh, there is a certain part of things that you can only do alone, and at some point you need support from everyone else to make something great. So what we want from the community is to contribute in Daksha to identify maybe there are some features that are missing, or there may be some issues with the existing features as well. So we want the contributors, and also we have a vision of having a plugin sort of architecture in Daksha so that anyone can develop their open source tools, and they can also integrate with us, just like we did with the report portal.
So if somebody is not using GChat or Slack, but instead is, let's say, using PagerDuty to send alerts and stuff, it'll be interesting in the future if there's a PagerDuty plugin as part of the Daksha ecosystem.
Right.
so people can have their own systems. That is very, very cool. Where can people go? And I'm sure we will put the URL on the screen right now to have a little overlay. What is it? What's the URL? GitHub/what?
It's github/myKaarma/Daksha. This is
Cool. So, well, everybody, you're most welcome to come check out this particular repo. And as a closing round, let's go around the table and let's hear from all of our team members over here. I'm going to go from the freshest to the most senior, starting from you, Prashant. What do you hope happens to Daksha in the next year?
I hope that we introduce more functionalities in Daksha and it receives more support from the open source community. And there are already many projects undergoing in which we are trying to improve the functionality of Daksha and integrate with other frameworks that we use in myKaarma to ease the work of the developer, and as well as also making it more user-friendly.
Good. Okay.
So yeah, we believe in this product, Daksha, and we will be committed to keep building it as far as we can, and we hope we will get a very good response with this tool in our company and outside this organization also.
Like in myKaarma also, we have a very customer first approach, and similarly we have that in Daksha as well. So we want the users to, whoever is using Daksha, if you are facing any issues, to raise an issue in GitHub in our myKaarma Daksha repo. And obviously we want the community support and to build an ecosystem, a declarative testing ecosystem around it.
Yeah, to add to what Satish had said, Daksha is operated behind APIs, so it is very easy to your existing automation testing solution. So we invite the community to use Daksha, maybe as a standalone solution or integrate it in your own automation testing solution. Can you give us any feedback? It will be highly appreciated.
Rishi?
Yes. So apart from what the Prashant, Pupir and Prakash said, so I also want, so as for the new age startups who are just starting their QA automation journey, it will be a very good tool for them. They can easily create tests, they can schedule tests, they can generate reports, and they can set up a good alerting system where they will know if anything is broke before customer calls. So that can be a very good tool for all the companies who are just starting their automation journey. So they can use Daksha and give us feedback.
That's a very, very good point, Rishi. I'm sure we in our own journey have learned a lot from reading blogs or writing the articles or Stack Overflow questions and answers from other people who have walked in this path before us. My personal hope with Daksha is both, I'd say, broad and deep. I, on the one hand, expect us to support other platforms, for example, native mobile apps. We have a recorder right now which does recording as a Chrome extension. It'll be interesting to see what does it take to build a recorder that records mobile app interactions. And so people can very quickly build test cases declaratively off the mobile app part as well. And on a complementary axis, I would expect more plugins to show up where we can figure out more interactions, more alerting systems. I don't even know where the limits will be. It'll be fun to see if somebody builds a ChatGPT program and ends up starting to use our software to figure out various axes on this particular software that they will build. And if I may, I'm offering all of us in this room as people to reach out to. So if you in the audience are on your journey and if you have any questions, myKaarma's email IDs are always first name dot last name at myKaarma.com. So please don't hesitate to shoot a quick email to any of us. I'm sure we'll be very happy to get inbound requests. And at some point, we may even start hosting office hours of anybody across multiple organizations. If you're on the same journey as we have been, and if you have some early questions, what I can say is no question is too dumb to ask. I'm sure my team and I will be very happy to help you in your respective journeys. And yeah, it should be fun. Once again, Rishi, Prakash, Riddhi, Pulkit, Prashant, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for spending so much time in building this awesome tool. I personally am very, very proud of what we've built. I'm looking forward to seeing what the community can build from this. And that's it for today's session of myKaarma Engineering Talk. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you, Anime.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.